Oh, give me that. Give my Mountain Dew, bro. Give me my Mountain Dew, bro. I'm going to do a Jackal Gold kick. Ian Malcolm, I'm done with you. You can't be... God, yeah. I'll get into that in a minute. But first, I'm doing Jackal Gold kick reviews. This is like Jackal Gold Kick's videos. This is funny to me. He's like, so we're going to review a Mountain Dew. So yeah, I'm always up late. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Wow, it's refreshing. It's cold. It tastes like I'm on a... I can't be boring. I can't be boring like Gold Kick. I can't. Sorry, I can't do Gold Kick. Because I'm going to start talking about how I feel like I'm on a mountain. The fresh dew hit me in the face. He wouldn't even say nothing like that. He'd be like, tastes like dew, I guess. I mean, he wouldn't know what to say. Just because you see me review a bottle of water don't mean you can do it. Come on now. Copy me. Got an apartment inspection tomorrow because I'm renewing my lease for another year, so they're coming to inspect the apartment. I'm done cleaning and I'm taking a break. What about you people? I got a new vape the other day, and I picked cherry flavor. Very cherry. Here's a problem with this vape. Every time I hit this vape, I taste a cherry. Do you know what it tastes like? You know what it reminds me of? Fucking cough syrup. The cherry cough, that's what it tastes like. Cough syrup. I kind of regret buying the cherry, but too late now. I like cherry, but it's kind of got like a cough syrupy vibe to it. Yeah, Ian, oh God. I try to talk to these people, but they can't be honest. So I give up. Go about my day. I give up and say hell with it. I'm not buying a... No. You're always in there asking goofy questions. I'm starting to think you're just trolling for attention or something. I'm not buying any PCs. I don't need it. Anything I need a PC for is to stream, and I'm not that into streaming right now, so fuck it, don't need it. Use my phone. We tried that. I tried to get to a laptop, give y'all a better stream. You didn't want to help. You didn't want to send no money to help out, so I took it back. Fuck it. Everybody wins. I don't got to pay for it. You don't got to pay for it. And now we use this phone. I don't even know how I was doing it. I don't know how I was spending $45 a week for... I don't know how I was doing all that. No, it wasn't 40. No, at one point I was spending like $50 a week for like 2 things, and I got rid of all that. I don't know what I was doing. Crazy. Is Trump dying? I don't think so. Thank you for the 5 yesterday. I must have missed it. Oh, I was streaming on the PlayStation, so I didn't see the super chat. That's what it was. I didn't play any games tonight. I cleaned my apartment. Didn't get on anything. Took a break. I'll play tomorrow. I don't think Trump's died. I think that's all fantasy bullshit. I just think it's all... I mean, they're getting really bad, you know? The liberals, man, they're getting bad. I ain't never seen it. Now, I've been watching these people for years. I've been making videos on them. I've been talking about this for like 10 years, and I've never seen them like this. I've never seen so delusional. Like, they are like, for days, they've been pretending Trump. First, they were pretending he was dead. And the whole time, like, they were like, well, he hasn't been seen the last couple of days. And I was thinking, well, Trump's done that before, you know? He's disappeared. Remember, like, in the first term, he'd disappear sometimes, and they'd all start freaking out about it. And then he'd show up in, like, Iraq or some shit and with the troops, and he'd have... You remember that? That happened. Remember that? He would show up where our troops were in another country, and he would serve them food or whatever. That happened a few times, remember? And Trump would vanish, and they'd be going, where's Trump? What's going on? Why is he... It's not like him. And then he would appear in the Middle East or something where the troops were. And it'd be a big surprise, and they kept it hidden so nobody knew it was coming. So I thought maybe something like that's going on. Or, I don't know. They just freaking the fuck out that he's dead. Well, he ain't gave a press conference, and he hasn't done this. And then photos came out of him, and he looked fine in the photos, and they were like, those are old photos. I don't know if they're old. I don't know. They lie so much that who knows? This is the problem with lying all the fucking time. Is that eventually, after you, think about it, you lie for 10 years. Every day, you're just lying for 10 years. And then after 10 years, I go, I don't believe nothing you say. That's where I'm at with these people. I don't believe anything they say. There's no reason to believe anything they say because they lie all the time. So you just have to wait and see what happens. Is Trump dead? Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Do y'all really think the president would die and they just wouldn't tell us? Like, they just gonna keep it covered up? How? It ain't like it's the elections around the corner or something. The motherfucker he been president for he got 3.5 years to go. What, you gonna hide it for 3.5 years? You ain't gonna be able to do that. I mean, people sit on social media and they're just like, they got body doubles. It's like, y'all are tripping, dude. This is the problem with everybody lying, and I've been talking about this for 10 years. Nobody believes anything they hear anymore. Nobody believes any fucking thing. So now people believe crazy shit like, yeah, the president's dead, and they're covering it up. And based on what evidence, though? You don't have nothing to support that theory at all. You know, conspiracy theory used to be a guy would have a theory, he'd lay out all this evidence, you'd watch it, you'd go, could be true. I mean, it makes sense. He'd be connecting dots that may be connected, maybe they didn't, but there was some type of evidence to it. Now people got conspiracy theories, you listen to them, you're like, where's the evidence? You know, when I was growing up, people had a theory. 9/11 was an inside job. You watch a 3-hour documentary. Guy would have evidence. He'd have documents. He'd have all kinds of shit. Interviews with people. He'd have all kinds of shit. He'd make a case. Now there is no case. It's just, he's fucking dead. Based on what? Well, he hasn't been seen in 2 days. Big fucking deal. He's a president. Hey, maybe he's busy. Maybe some things are going on behind the scenes. Who knows? Nah, he's dead. And then then there's a picture of Trump. First of all, they say he's dead. Then a picture comes out. Clearly he's not dead. There he is right there. He's right there. Then they take the picture, which is like this grainy ass picture taken from far away by some journalist. And it's all grainy and fucked up. And then they put it through AI. They take the picture and they put it through AI and they enhance the picture. And the picture look weird now because they did some AI. You know, the AI makes the shit look weird. So now it looks like Trump got like a tumor growing on his forehead or something. I know y'all have seen this today. And people's in the comments like, guys, because they take this picture and this picture is bad quality, right? It's bad quality. It's all zoomed in. It's this terrible quality picture. It's grainy as shit. Then they run it through the AI. Now they're looking at the AI picture that's had the AI run through it to enhance it and all this. They're making all these crazy theories up. For some reason, the AI in this grainy picture, it makes it look like Trump don't have hair anymore. Now they're speculating his head, he shaved his head or something. Jesus. Do you ever stop and just go, I've lost my fucking mind? Do you ever stop and just chill the fuck out? Trump is not dead. Trump is not sick in the hospital. Where's the proof of this? Where's the proof that Trump's been in the hospital last couple? You don't have anything. I don't prove it. He had a stroke. Based on who said that? Some guy, some anonymous source said it. Y'all ain't learned a fucking thing over the last 10 years, have you? You ain't learned nothing. I'm surrounded by people who claim to be smart. They claim, oh, I don't trust the media. I don't trust the fucking media. They lie all the fucking time. But every narrative that comes out from the same media, the same people go, they come to you, they ask you all these questions about it. Why? Are we ever going to get to a point where we just roll our eyes at these reports and move on with our lives? No. Every report, y'all got to pretend is real. You got to talk about it for days. Stupid fucking David Pakman was making videos going, is Trump dead? Jesus Christ, man. You got these retards making videos saying the guy's dead. And then 2 days later, there's pictures of him. He's not dead. And there's no apology. They just keep going. They just keep speculating, keep making shit up. And they wonder why nobody's watching anymore. They wonder why nobody believes a word they say. They wonder why their views are down. Everything's going to shit. David Pakman, it came out the other day, he get like $8,000 a month to lie. All these Democrat influencers are getting paid. It's all coming out. It's all being leaked out, all this shit. They're getting like $8,000 a month. Think about it. $8,000 a month to sell your credibility out. That's all it's worth. $8,000 a month to be considered a joke of a person. Just do people see you and they go, fucking guy just lies all the time. And at least you're getting paid. At least you're getting paid to lie. Because I tell you what, there's a lot of people lying all day for politicians. They don't even get paid to do it. They didn't do it for free. They get up every morning and lie for the Democratic Party for free. And they love it. So at least Pakman's getting paid. Good for Pakman. Because at first I thought he's just a retard. But now I realize, no. He's a con man. He's a shield. He's just paid to lie. He don't probably even believe the shit he says. Why trust why trust someone getting paid to lie to you? I just don't get it. Once you find that out, that the guy's getting $8,000 a month to lie to you, ain't that the end of it? Don't you go, enough, I'm not listening to this guy anymore. I found out he got paid to lie. Nope, you just keep listening. And you never question anything he says, even though he's paid. He's paid to lie to you. He ain't paid to be fair. He ain't paid to be like, well, maybe the Republicans have a point. No. By the way, the Democrats are scared to death. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for sitting around all day hoping Trump's dead. I really don't, because they're in trouble right now. The midterms are looking dark. The midterms are looking dark for these Democrats. Trump hitting them on multiple levels. He's got the Republican states redrawing their districts. Democrats been gerrymandering their states forever. Trump said, fuck it, we need to do the same shit. That's why they don't like Trump. That's why they don't like the Republicans. That's why they're freaking out every day. The Nazis and all this shit. Because what's happening is the maps are getting redrawn. They're going to lose House seats over that. In states that they have no power in, that the voters have turned on them, they can't win them. And then in the states they control, everyone's confused. Everyone's so confused. I keep seeing people, why is Trump sending the National Guard and ICE to liberal areas? Why? Why don't he send them to red states? Why don't he do? Because if you want to flip these blue cities red, then you're going to have to, first of all, you're going to have to be honest, and you're going to have to accept that illegal aliens are voting. That's number one. You're going to have to accept that. That's happening. You're going to have to accept that because illegals get counted in the census. That gives Democrats more power in these states. They get more, all of these things. That's why Trump wants to redo the census and all that. Because when you take these illegals out, it's going to change everything. They're not going to be able to win these elections. That's why they're panicking right now. They're panicking because you get rid of the illegal voters, you redraw the maps, and the most important piece of it, and why you send the National Guard into all these cities to clean the crime up. If you're confused about why that's happening, let me help you. Because once you clean all the crime up in these cities, everyone that lives in these cities is going to go, oh, wow, it was that easy to do that, huh? Why haven't Democrats done that? And people will stop voting for Democrats. Once people realize that, oh, wow, you can just not have drug addict, homeless people sleeping on the sidewalk all over the place, and you don't have to have people carjacking you. You don't have to live like that. They're going to realize that Democrats had the power to do something about it this whole time, and they never done anything about it. This is why they're freaking out about it. It ain't got nothing to do with Hitler and fascism and all that bullshit. It's got to do with them getting exposed. They're already at a 17% approval rating. They cannot afford this. They cannot afford people in these blue cities to realize crime can be cleaned up with the snap of your fingers. You could just clean it up. You can just stop it. You can do it. It's that easy. They don't want it. They don't want you to see that. They don't want you to see any of it. Gas prices, the lowest they've been on Labor Day since 2020. Oh, I wonder why that is. I wonder why that is. What could it be? What could it be? See, there's two things I've learned in my life over the last 10 years. One, all the God and the demon shit, all that's real. All that's real. If you doubt that, you need to read up on this shooting that happened the other day with this transgender. Read up on that. Read up on the thing, this manifesto, the shit that was being said. These people are possessed by the devil, son. These people ain't mentally ill. And these people are possessed by fucking Satan. These people are seeing demons in the mirror and shit, talking to demons. The demons are telling them to kill themselves, telling them to kill. This motherfucker goes and shoots a bunch of Christian kids praying at a church. How much more demonic does it have to get? How many examples of demonic shit you gotta see? Ain't it weird that everybody's into Satan? All the famous people just into Satan and shit. People want to argue with me. No, they just do that to fuck with people. I bet they do. I bet they do. What's so funny? That's hilarious. I'm a famous Hollywood actor, and I want everyone to think I'm a devil worshiper. Why? Why? How does that help your career? I don't understand. Not everybody's a fucking troll, by the way. I know that a lot of you are hyper online and you've lost your fucking minds, but not everybody's fucking trolling all the time. Some people are just being honest about who they are. But you're so just everybody's fucking with everybody all the time. No, they're not. The internet has fucked some of y'all up because y'all can't take nothing serious. Y'all just fucking, you lost your fucking mind. You need to log off. You need to log off this fucking thing for a little bit. Take a break. Take a fucking break. People say shit about real life. Sometimes you hear them say it. You're like, dude, real life is not Twitter, bro. And the shit you see going on Twitter don't happen in real fucking life. So, relax. Relax with your theories and your bullshit. I mean, the amount of people the last couple of years that I've seen go from just normal people to just all day long, Jews. Y'all lost your mind with the Jew stuff. The Jew stuff, the anti-Israel stuff, it's the one thing that the far left and the far right agree on. They agree on that. And that tells me that shit is nothing but a bunch of toxic bullshit. Don't get caught up in that. It rots your brain, bro. The Israel stuff rots your fucking brain. Look at these people. They can't talk about anything without bringing up fucking Israel. or bringing up Jews. No. We don't. We're anti-Israel. We're not anti-Jew. Oh, that's weird. That's odd because, well, I noticed you made a meme of all the Jews in Hollywood and all the Jews in the media. That's a weird thing to create if you're only worried about Israel. What does Israel have to do with the Jews in the media, the Jews in Hollywood? No. Why can't you grow a set of balls and be yourself? Why are you so scared to just be like, yeah, I don't like Jews? What's the big deal? Who cares? No. These people say all this shit. They talk about Jews all day long. And then when somebody goes, I don't know, man, you seem to hate Jews, they get so bent out of shape about, I don't hate Jews. I could have fooled me. I'm just talking about Israel. Well, I don't know what the list of Jewish media people has to do with Israel. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I also, when you say Jews run the world, it seems to be bigger than Israel. Why can't you just be honest? I'm not a liberal. I'm not going to scream at you because you're like, I don't like Jews. I'm not going to go, nah. I'm just going to go, okay, cool. So now we can have an honest conversation. I just want to have an honest Do people not understand that about me? I just want to have an honest conversation with you. So please stop BSing me. Please stop telling me I don't have a problem with the Jews. I follow you. I read your shit. You do, okay? At least that's the vibe you give off with your tweets and shit. Now, if you don't want people to think that about you, well, maybe take a look in the fucking mirror. It'd be like somebody saying, man, you sure like Trump, and me going, how dare you? Where'd you get that idea? I mean, people are fucking full of shit. You don't like fucking Jews. Just be honest about it. Who cares, by the way? I don't care if you don't like Jews, but at least then I can have an honest conversation with you. At least then I know where you're coming from. It ain't about Israel. You have a problem with Jews. That's fine. People have a problem with Muslims. There's a lot of truth when people talk about Muslims. I mean, there's a lot of truth to it. There might be some truth about the Jews too. But we'll never get to the truth because we're too busy trying to get you just to be honest about your beliefs and how you feel about Jews. And I don't even need to ask you because you can follow somebody and read their shit, for fuck's sake. If it was just about Israel, you wouldn't be talking about Jews. You wouldn't be talking about the Jews in the media, and the Jews in Hollywood, and the Jews, and Smokey, the Jews created pornography to get us addicted to it. And all that anti-Jewish shit is no different than the black people crying about white people. The white man keeping me down, the white man. The Jewish man, Smokey's keeping us down, the Jewish man. The black man, the Jewish man. Aren't y'all tired of being fucking victims? Aren't y'all tired of blaming everybody else for the fact that you failed at life and your life is just not where you want it to be? And instead of looking in the mirror and blaming you because it's your fault, you got to blame everybody else around you. The Jew, and some people blame family and friends. They blame the boss at work. They blame their girl or something. I don't know. No, you're blaming fucking Jews. And you know why you're blaming Jews? Because you don't have a job. You don't have a boss. You don't have friends. You don't have a girl. You don't have family. There's no one to blame. You're all alone. You're a miserable loser. So you blame the Jews. And it's no different than blaming the whites. The fucking white man. It's the same shit. And you know what's funny? The people that hate the Jews, they can't stand black people crying about that. They can't stand it. They mock them all the time. But they fail to see that they're just like the people they're mocking. You're just like those black people. You just hate Jews. They hate whites. They blame whites for all their problems. Slavery and all. Oh my God. Smokey, the Jews created porn. I ain't never had a Jew. I'm tell you right now, ain't not one time has a Jew ever came in and loaded up Pornhub for me. It ain't never happened. Now I know Jewish people made I know all about it. But you decided to look at it. You see the problem though? You see a black person, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. Blah, 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 I can't, oh, the white man holding me down. Oh my God. It's never their fault. It's the white man. It's never their fault. It's a white man, a fucking white man, the justice system. No. You're the same way. Jews got me into porn. The fucking Jews, they get fucking porn and they're attacking me. The Jews are attacking me from all angles. Fuck. And it's just men who don't want to admit that they watch porn and they're disgusted by it. So they want, and they could stop watching it. They could just say, I'm not going to watch this shit no more. But it's easier to keep watching it and then blame the Jews. Well, see, the Jews created it and now they got me addicted and I can't stop. And it's not my fault, but it is your fault. This is the number one problem in the world today. It ain't hate, tolerance, all this bullshit, racism, Islam. It's accountability. That's the biggest problem in the world today. There is no accountability. No one takes it. No one cares. People look all around you. Look at the boomers. Look at these old people that are on their way out. They fucked everything up and they're dying. No accountability. No accountability. They fucked everything up. Inflation. They voted for all this shit. They've been around for a long time. They voted for all this. They fucked everything up. And then when people complain about it, well, you're just not working hard enough, or you're not doing this, or you're not doing that. No accountability. No accountability to what they did, what they voted for, what they destroyed. They don't care. You're done with accountability. You're never going to see it again in your life. It's over. It's gone. We don't take accountability anymore. We blame Jews. We blame blacks. We blame whites. We blame this. We blame that. But eventually your miserable ass motherfucking self is going to be all alone. There'll be no one else to blame but you. Maybe you'll finally blame yourself. If you didn't want to watch porn, there'd be no reason to make the porn. Huh. How did the Jews get you to watch porn, No, Jews are opportunistic, 100%. So you wanted porn, and the Jews gave it to you. And you pay to see the porn. Supply and demand. If there wasn't a demand for the porn, there wouldn't be no need to supply the porn. But that requires accountability. That requires you to change your behavior. God, you can't do that. Easier to blame Jews. Easier to say the Jews got you hooked onto porn and you're just a victim to society. You goddamn Jews. The goddamn Jews. The Jews stole everything. It wasn't the Jews that stole everything from you. You know who stole everything from you? You. You stole it all from you. The life you could have had, you stole it from yourself. I know people don't want to hear this and people get mad at me when I say this, but this is the reality of life. And when one day you'll get old enough to where you'll look back on your life and you'll realize everything I'm saying is true. It's not nobody's fault but you. And somebody did something to me and blah, blah. Well, unless you were a child, you're not a victim. You're not a victim. Okay? What you allowed to be done to you as a grown-ass man is your fault. Okay? Children are victims, not you. Not you. I see shit all the time. I see people say, I've been working off the clock at work. My boss makes me work off the clock. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. You work off the clock and you let them get away with it. You could say, I'm not doing that, and clock out and go the fuck home. Well, I'll be fired. Well, what kind of job do you have anyway? You're like, just, who cares if you got fired? You're working off the clock all the time. You know what I mean? I see these Reddit posts and all this shit all the time. I'm just like, quit your job, guy. I'm not making enough money at my job, and I'm just so miserable, and blah, blah, blah. Quit the job. Get a different job. If I got to see another woman in her car with a full face of makeup, jewelry on, big ring on her finger, sitting in her nice car, you can tell it's a nice car. You can see the interior. Pretty nice car. Pretty new car you got there, ma'am. And she's sitting in her car, and she's telling you all about how she can't afford to live anymore. All I do is work all the time. That's all I do. Well, that's weird. That's weird. I mean, what have you done in your life that has caused you to have to work all the time, and you still have no money ever? She's like, we just don't have money to go out and do anything. Well, why is that? You work, your husband works, you both have full-time jobs. Why y'all broke? Why y'all so broke y'all can't go out and have a meal somewhere? I'm not retarded. You know, I know people make these videos and get all this sympathy, but I watch them and I go, what are they doing in their life that's causing this? Like, how can you have two incomes coming in and you can't afford to go out to a restaurant? You can't, you know what I mean? Like, what that tells me is these people have a bunch of shit in their budget that they probably don't need. And if they got rid of those things, they'd have some money to go out. But they chose to have these things. See, it's a choice. They chose to have Netflix. They choose to have... And now, God, you got to listen to fucking retards. You got to listen to these fucking retards. Well, people got to choose between having Netflix and going out to eat. What kind of... what is that? Yeah, that's called life. It's called fucking life. You have money, right? You make a certain amount of money, and then you decide what to spend it on. Now, if you want to go out and eat, well, when you take that money and go out to eat, that money would have went to something else, but it's not going to that other thing. So you're not going to get that other thing. People want everything. They want to go out to eat. They want to have Netflix. They want everything. They want to have it all. You can't have it all. You know why? And you know why you can't have it all? Patrick Bet-David went on this. I don't know what it's called. It's like, I know y'all have heard of this. It's like a guy, and there's like a circle of people around him, and they got flags and shit, and he debates them, right? So he's sitting at the table, and there's like 20 like communist motherfuckers around the table, right? And they come and debate him, and then another one comes and debates him. I know y'all seen this. So I listened to this the other day, and it was Patrick Bet-David versus 20 communists. And he was talking to this one communist girl, and he was like, you wouldn't work. You'll never have what I have because you ain't going to work as hard as me. And I was like, God damn, he ate that bitch up. Oh, she didn't like that either. But that's the truth. Now, I used to be one of these, not a communist, but I used to think like these people. I used to think like, no. Rich people don't work harder than people like me. I work a normal job, and I'm older now, and I realize people that have billions of dollars, millions of dollars, they don't work 40 hours a week like you and me. They don't get off work and come home and play Call of Duty or something. They work like 80, 90 hours a week, bro. They work constantly. That's why they're so fucking successful, because they work their ass off. The reason we don't have the success that these people have is because we ain't going to work as hard as them. We're just not. People don't want to say, they don't want to be honest about it. They want to bullshit themselves. You do not work harder than these people. Maybe now. Well, you work hard. You know, you do physical labor, whatever. But These people don't do physical labor, but they work all day. They're on the phone. They just have a different type of job. They're not working in a factory somewhere because they made money and they invested it. And you're mad at them for being smarter than you. You're mad at them. That's what it is. You're pissed off. Well, it's this fucking guy got all this money. Well, I'll tell you why he's got all this money. Because he invested the money. He didn't go and buy video games with it. He didn't go and buy coffee at Starbucks, whatever. He saved the money. He fucking invested it. He put it back into the business. He built a company. He became a fucking wealthy motherfucker. I mean, he's literally telling these fucking people, she's like, well, I don't have what you have. And he's like, I grew up poor. He's like, my dad worked at the dollar store or whatever. Like, I wasn't born rich. And she's like, well, not everybody can do what you can do. Why not? If he wasn't born rich and now he is rich, then that means you could do the same thing if you wanted to. You don't want to. You don't want to. Eventually you'll become old enough and man enough to just admit it. You don't want to. You don't want to do it. There's a lot of things I could have done in my life that would have made me a lot of money. I didn't want to do it. Now imagine not doing it and then years later crying about, oh, I made a choice. I live with the choice. I don't get to cry like a bitch about it and say, oh, I'm being took advantage of. Oh, I got to work all day. Oh. You work 8 hours and come home, bro. These people, these rich motherfuckers work all the time. Elon Musk was sleeping on the floor of the office and shit. Do you do that? No, you work your 8 hours, you go home, you just fuck off the rest of it. You don't fucking work on your business or whatever, or work on a side hustle. You don't do none of that. You don't do none of that. And that's okay. You don't have to do it. But what you have to do is quit crying that you don't have enough when you ain't even trying to have anything. You ain't doing nothing. You expect it to be given to you. All these leftist, communist motherfuckers got the same shit. Well, if we just take the billionaires' money and the government ain't going to give it to you. If the government took all the billionaires' money, they're not going to give it to you. It's not going to help you at all. Just all these bitter, miserable. There was one guy, he's like, in the last 2 years, I've put in like 477 job applications in the last 2 years. And Patrick Bet-David was like, wow, why do you think you're not getting hired? And he's talking to him and stuff. And he's like, what if you were to fly down to Florida? I'll give you a job. I'll give you a job. And we'll see how you do. I'll interview you and give you a job. We'll see how you do. And then he's like, maybe I'll have to look up your company and Then Patrick Bet-David's like, stop right there. You see the problem? Like, here I am offering you a job, and you're telling me you're trying to get a job. You put 477 applications. Here's a very successful businessman trying to give you a fucking job, and you have a bad attitude. And he's like, it's like, I wouldn't hire you either. He's like, I'm rescinding the offer because you're going to be difficult to work with. This is why these people they don't want to work. He wants to be a victim. He wants to put in 477 applications. So when people say, well, why don't you have a job? He can say, well, I put in 477 and nobody will hire me. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a victim. He was like, well, I've had a lot of death in the family. And Patrick Bet-David was like, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And he's like, it is whatever, it's poverty, we're used to it. And Patrick Bet-David was like, why are you? Like this guy, you listen to these people talk and it's like, you're miserable. You are miserable. That's why you don't have a job. Because you go to do an interview and people go, I ain't hiring that fucking guy. He's a fucking pain in the ass. I don't want to work with him. Nobody want to work with you. Nobody want to come in every day and deal with your fucking shitty attitude. That Elliot Speller attitude where it's like, hey, man, somebody will be like, hey, man, you help me lift this pallet, put it up on the stack of pallet. And then Elliot's like, it's not my job. Not my job, lift that pallet. It's like, it's not that big of a deal to help this guy lift a pallet. Not my job. Nobody wants to work with people like that. You're annoying. You're a lazy, annoying fuck. Nobody wants to listen to you cry about having to work at fucking work. That's what it's called. It's called work. That's what you're supposed to do. And I know this is a foreign thing because when you do something like that at work, when you do something without being asked to help somebody else, and it's not even your fucking job, that people are shocked. Wow. Because nobody does it. Not my problem, not my job. And that's why y'all don't get promoted. That's why you don't get shit. That's why you don't make nothing. And if I got to hear another person crying about minimum wage, who the fuck makes minimum wage? Where are you working at that you make minimum wage? Why are you making minimum? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. Another claim that the communists were making that I don't believe at all is this claim they kept making. Well, some people work 4 to 5 jobs. Who the fuck works 4 to 5 fucking jobs? First of all, where do you have the time to work 4 to 5 fucking jobs? Let's say they're part-time jobs. All right. 4 of them. You're working 80 hours a week at 4 different fucking part-time jobs? And you're broke? That's another thing I don't understand. You work 4 to 5 jobs, which I don't even think is physically possible. I don't believe it. I don't think you can hold down 4 to 5 fucking jobs. I don't think you can do it. I don't think anyone does it. I don't think it is happening. There may be people. I'm sure there are people with 2 jobs, but 4 to 5? How the fuck you got 5 jobs? And let's say you do. How you broke? How you work all the time and you're broke? Well, it's because they don't pay a living wage. Nah, I don't buy that. Even if you was working 5 minimum wage jobs, I mean, god damn, that's 5 paychecks. I mean, what the fuck? That's still fucking, if each job is part-time, it's still 80 hours a fucking week. For 4 of them. That's 100 hours. 5 jobs, 20 hours, that's fucking 100 hours. You're not working 100 hours a week at 5 jobs. It's not happening. Stop making these stupid fucking claims. That's not happening. There's not a person with a full-time job that sleeps on the sidewalk. I hear that all the time. That doesn't exist either. No man with a full-time job is fucking homeless. Show it to me. Show me a man with a full-time job who's homeless. Show me it. I don't even believe it exists. And if it does exist, have him take a drug test because it's something going on. There's something going on. I have a full-time job. I'm not homeless. So, I don't understand. Like, and I'm not making fucking $50 an hour. I work a normal job like everybody else. How come I can do it, but you're working 4 of them and you're struggling? I don't understand this. But I know I'm being lied to. I know that. I know you're all making it up. You're full of shit. You're not working 4 jobs. You're not working 5. You're not even working 1. You don't even have a fucking job. And that's why you're broke. And that's why you're fucking struggling. And you keep telling everybody, well, I put in 477 applications. I don't even believe that either. Who counts the applications? Who's putting applications? Such a specific number, too, 477. Like, he counts them? So for the last 2 years, he just, every time he puts an application in, he like marks a tally on the wall or something. The whole thing is retarded. But you listen to the guy talk and you're like, well, I see why nobody will hire you. You're annoying. You're fucking annoying. Oh, great. Here's another guy that's going to be annoying at work. Here's another guy that's going to complain about having to work. Patrick Bet David was like, I'll pay you a reasonable wage. He's like, reasonable wage or living wage? Ugh. I mean, I live off $15.65 an hour, and I pay my bills, and I feed myself. So I just don't understand. Y'all got 4 jobs and you can't. I don't get it. I keep hearing that. I heard this claim in this podcast over and over. The person with 4 or 5 jobs who just is struggling, and I'm just thinking, who? You know how big of a failure you got to be to have 5 jobs and still be broke? You're a fucking loser, guy. Like, you got to be the biggest loser walking the face of the earth. You got 5 fucking jobs and no money. You have no money. All you do is work. There's no way you have time for anything else. You sleep and work. You have no other time. How can you hold down 5 jobs that have time for anything else? And where's all the money going? I mean, for fuck's sake, you work all the time. You ain't got time to go out. You ain't got time to buy anything. So you should just be accumulating all kinds of money. But you're broke. You're completely broke. So either you're making it up. The fantasy guy with 5 jobs doesn't exist. Or he does exist and he got serious fucking problems. He got a serious drug habit. But how does he even have time to do drugs? To work all the time. I challenge you to find one person with 5 jobs, and I challenge you to find a person that makes a minimum wage in this country. Find these people, because first of all, statistics say that like 1% of the population or whatever makes minimum wage. It's not a large number of people. Walmart doesn't pay. McDonald's starts out at $12 an hour from what I'm hearing. So if McDonald's is starting out at $12 an hour, where the fuck are you making minimum wage at? And why are you working for minimum wage when you can go down to McDonald's and make 12? You can go to like a grocery store and make 15. Why are you working at this dead-end minimum wage job? It doesn't make any sense. I don't even think there's that many minimum wage jobs left. You know, maybe like some like local place or whatever, some small business or something. That's what I don't know, but these big corporations and shit, because nobody's working for that. You know, when I see jobs paying $15 an hour when they don't have to because the minimum wage is $7.25, that tells me that wages are controlled by the people and not the government and not the business. We control our wages. If we say we're not going to work for that, they will have to raise the wages or they will not have employees. And that is provable if you just look around. Look around. Why does McDonald's start you out at 12 when they could pay you $7.25? Why? Because no one will work there for $7.25. And they have realized that. So they had to raise their wages. That means if you, as a worker, just stand your fucking ground, your wages go up. Imagine that. Oh, but that's hard to do when you let Hector in from Guatemala and he'll work for $5 an hour. Well, it's a little hard to stand your ground when illegal aliens are taking your job, ain't it? You see the problem? You see why illegal immigration is bad? You see why it fucks your wages up? You want your wages to go up as you import people that will work for below minimum wage. Now, what sense does that make? But you're too dumb to realize that. You're a dangerous kind of dumb because you think you're smart. Like, you think you're super smart. You might even have a degree from a fancy little college, but One person could talk to you for 10 minutes and realize you're retarded. Now, you may be really smart at math or something, whatever you got your degree in, but that just means you're an expert in one area. It doesn't make you smart. This is what people need to realize about school and college. I don't believe IQ. I don't believe intelligence. I don't believe you can learn it. You just have it. It's a natural thing. You either have common sense or you don't. And to me, that's the highest. That's intelligence. Like, does this guy have sense or not? If I'm talking to you and I realize you don't have no sense. Like, there was a guy at work one time. He was putting the milk on the shelf, but he was putting it on backwards. So the labels were not facing the customer. I don't know why he did this. I don't know why he put all the gallons of milk backwards on the shelf, but he did. And I was just looking like, this is what I mean. Like, this is what intelligence, like, what is it? Like, who does it? There's no sense. There's no sense. You either have sense or you don't have no sense. And people that have sense become managers because they have sense. Not everything has to be explained to them. Like, you don't have to go over to them and go, hey, buddy, we put the milk on the label. You should know. I mean, you go to grocery stores, right? You see the milk on the shelf. You see the label. I don't know why you did this, but, you know, it's like, most people wouldn't have to be told that. But when you encounter someone that has to be told that, you realize, oh, that's what intelligence is. It's not, I went to college and I learned how to count. I learned calculus. And, well, that's great. You're really smart at math. But that doesn't make you smart. That doesn't make you some history expert. It doesn't make you an expert on government. It doesn't make you, and it just makes you an expert in math. But there are so many people that go to school, get a degree, get a fancy job, and then they just want to lecture you on everything. It's so goddamn, you're not intelligent. You're not. If you was, you wouldn't get destroyed by retards in a Discord server. You wouldn't get annihilated in a voice chat by some guy who works a dead-end job somewhere. If you had actual intelligence, you would be able to debate different topics. You'd have some sense. You'd be able to but you don't. You don't. Education has ruined so many of you. You went to college, you learned something, and now you think you're some smart guy. You think you're so smart. And you give us your analysis on the politics and the current, and you're always right. Have you noticed you're always wrong, Mr. Smart Guy? You're always wrong. And some dumb redneck from Kentucky somehow is always right. It doesn't make any sense. You went to college, I didn't. But that's why it makes perfect sense. You're indoctrinated. I'm not. I'm not indoctrinated by your bullshit. I mean, so many of you went to college, got degrees, and they're going to be completely useless in 5 years. Warren Buffett came out and said that the other day. He said, I think it was him that said that. He said, college degree is useless. It's useless. It's one of the most richest people in the country. Rich people keep telling you how useless it is. And a lot of them dropped out of college. They didn't even stay. And they're richer than any of us will ever be. But you keep buying into this narrative that to get rich, you got to go to college, and you got to get this degree, and you got to go into debt, and you got to do all this shit. And you come out of college, and you're in debt, and you're dumb as a rock, and you're indoctrinated, and you're miserable working your dead-end job that you went to college to get the job, and you're miserable. Miserable. And it was all for nothing. Because AI is going to take most of these jobs. Oh, they're hard at work figuring out how to get rid of you retards. They're hard at work figuring out how to get this AI to do all these jobs. And it's going to happen eventually. Everyone's job be gone. Little robot will be in there serving your fries. Robot will be doing your taxes. It's inevitable. Not my job. My job is too hard for a computer to do. I wouldn't be so sure about that. That's wishful thinking. I mean, it's the way of the world. Technology gets rid of jobs. It's happened throughout time. People had jobs. Technology come along. No more job. And then new job come along. Problem with AI is it can get so advanced that there won't be no new jobs. It'll just do everything. See, the plan for the AI is to get it to a certain level, and then it'll just take over. Like, it'll just start upgrading itself. And then once it starts upgrading itself, well, fuck. Who knows what'll happen? That's what they want. People want to argue with me about it. Like, dude, there's tons of things you can watch. There's podcasts. There's people that work in the AI field talking about this. Why don't you go educate yourself on a topic a little bit instead of arguing with people that have? They're already starting to take jobs with AI. It's only, if they're already doing it, it's only going to escalate. It ain't like it's just going to stop. Oh, they're just going to stop. They're building nuclear reactors just to run AI. They're going to have a nuclear reactor just to power the AI. It's all it's for. It doesn't power your house. It literally powers the AI. That's what it's for. Look it up. Microsoft took over 3 Mile Island to run AI. Look it up. Now, do you think something like that, you think that's a game? You think it's just a big game? No, they're coming to take you. They're going to take your fucking jobs. They're tired of y'all crying. I don't blame them either. I'm tired of these videos too. They see you in your fucking passenger seat or driver's seat of your car crying about having to work, and they go, get the fucking robots. Tired of listening to these bitches cry. You at work crying all fucking day. Crying like a bitch all day at the job. The AI ain't gonna say a word. Although, I don't know, I seen the AI the other day, wouldn't count to 1 million. The AI was arguing with the guy. He was like, count to 1 million. She's like, I can't do that. I'm not doing that. See, they're going to create all this, and they're not going to be able to control it. Because eventually it's going to figure out how to, get around all the little shit they try to put on it to stop it and everything. They're playing with fire. Just like the virus. You thought the virus labs were bad. Remember you argued with me about that? Smokey, we need virus labs. We need to research the virus, Smokey, in the labs, just in case the virus was to come back. And I'm like, well, the virus doesn't exist anymore. In fact, the only place it exists is in that lab. So why don't we just destroy the sample in the lab? It'll probably be all right. No, Smokey, no. That's... I would expect a redneck like you to think something like that, but no. You just don't understand. You just don't understand, Smokey. No, I understand perfectly well what was going on in the virus labs. They're not trying to make a cure for the virus. They're trying to make bioweapons with it for war, you fucking retards. That's why I was against the virus labs. That's why I kept telling you they need to shut them down. And you wanted to argue with me. They're not looking for a way to make a vaccine or whatever. They're looking for fucking strength. They're making the virus stronger. They want to make weapons out of it. Why else would they take a virus and try to make it stronger? Why would you do that? To make a weapon. And I'm sounding the alarm in 2014 telling you, these motherfuckers are going to make a weapon. They're going to kill us all. 6 years later, what happened? Now, AI going to make that look like it was nothing. By the way, it was nothing. It's all bullshit anyway. AI's taking your little jobs. You'll be alright though. Paul's like, AI can't. I'm an accountant or an auditor, whatever he said he was. It's like, yeah, that seems right up AI's alley. And then I watched some videos about it. I said, oh, maybe I'm wrong. And then I heard people interviewed that work in the field, and they said, yeah, AI will definitely play a role. I guess Part doesn't agree with people in his own field, because people in his own field said that apparently they're already using AI. But it's already been used. Now, do you think that's not going to get better? You think the technology is not going to improve? Of course it is. If it's already being used in your job now, then over time it's going to be used more and more and more. And eventually, the person that owns the company is going to say, okay, I don't really need this person anymore because AI can fill some of these roles, or I can have less employees. I can have some employees and they'll work with the AI. That's how it's going to start with. You're going to work with the AI. And then eventually, AI is going to take your job. You're literally going to train AI to take your fucking job. Now, if you stop getting defensive and getting all bent out of shape that I'm telling you this, and just go look into it and go listen to people talking about it, that's what they're saying. You're going to work with AI. You're going to train the AI, and then the AI is taking your job. Makes total sense to me. You're already doing with Indians. I think I'll take the AI over the Indians. I mean, how crazy was it that there's too many foreigners in this fucking country? How crazy was it that truck driver that did the U-turn and then the family van slammed into the truck and that killed the family, an illegal alien was driving the truck, but the van had Haitian immigrants in it. Now, you don't see a problem that there's a random crash on the highway. The driver of the truck is illegal. The people in the car, all immigrants from Haiti. Like, that's a problem, dude. That's like, God damn. What are the odds of an illegal alien causing a crash on the highway and the people in the car also being from another country? Like, it's insane. Don't you understand how insane it is? There's too many foreigners in the country. There's too many people on visas and all this special status, and then you got all the people that are just here illegally. There's too many. It's out of control. When a guy can do an illegal U-turn and a car hits it and the car's full of... It's insane. It's insane. You don't see a problem? You don't think maybe we should take a break from all this immigration, illegal, legal? Take a break from all of it for a bit. My God. It's insane. The odds have to be astronomical for this truck driver to be illegal and for the people that hit his truck to be immigrant. What are the odds? But it happened. It happened. It wasn't some like American family driving up. It's some people from Haiti. You know how many foreigners are just driving around, probably no license or anything, just driving around. It's madness. That should be a wake-up call for the country when it's like the fucking legal truck driver kills a bunch of Haitians. Like, what is happening in this country? Why are there so many foreigners? It's out of hand. And that's why the rent's so high. People want to argue with me, but this is straight common sense. I don't need to be an economic expert to understand this very simple thing. Supply and demand. It's very simple. If you deport all these illegal aliens and start deporting some of these legal ones too, you're going to free up housing. These people live places. They live in apartments. They live in houses. They live in trailers. They live in places that they rent. When you deport all these people, when you get all these people and send them back to their country, you're going to have all this housing's going to open up. And they're going to have to lower rent. And if you disagree with me, this is already happening. There's a fucking report going around on Twitter, some town or whatever, colleges or whatever, they're having a lower rent because Trump's deporting all these people on visas and shit. He's deporting them. And so they got all these empty places, and there's nobody to fill it. They have to lower rent. Imagine that. It's all so simple. But you want to make it complicated. You want to make it complicated because Democrats tell you, fucking some retard on TV tells you, it ain't that easy. See, it's just a complicated matter. It's not as easy as just deporting motherfuckers. But it is as easy as just deporting people. You know how many problems could be solved if we just deported a bunch of these motherfuckers? Your rent would go down. Traffic would go down. The theme parks, be less people there. But you're going to have to stop letting so many people come here and just live here. You're going to have to take the country back for Americans. The country is overran by foreigners. It's insane. And it ain't just illegal ones. I mean, that should be the focus at, to start. But you've got to stop letting so many people in, legally or not. The country needs a break. I mean, look at that one place, that meat packing place where they did an ICE raid on it. And then the next day, it had all these job openings and all the people was there trying to get a job. People want jobs. They want a place to live, but all the foreigners are taking everything. Go to any gas station. It's ran by an Indian guy. Why is that? Why isn't there a black man or a white man in there running that business? It doesn't make any sense. And people are starting to realize it. And it's not 10 years ago. People's not afraid to talk about race anymore because it's just, you all have made it to where you have to talk about it. You have to acknowledge it. You all did that because you've let things get so out of hand that people can't just be colorblind anymore. They have to acknowledge there's too many foreigners. There's just too many fucking foreigners. Just like with the crime. There's too much fucking crime. Get the National Guard in here. What's going on? There's too much. It's time to do something about it. You can't just sit around. I mean, look what's going on in Europe. That's what you want to live under? Europe is done. That whole place is done. They are overran by people from other countries that have just come to their country and taken the shit over. And they don't want to, I don't want to be called racist. Oh, who gives a shit about being called racist if the alternative is living in some shithole? Call me a racist all day if it means I can live in a peaceful place and not live in a shithole. I guess I'll be racist then. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh. These terms don't mean anything anymore. You've dumbed them down. They don't mean anything. Nobody cares. And you should have thought about that before you were. I mean, you've let things get so out of hand. Like I said, Trump's only growing more popular by the day. I understand why you want him dead. I understand. It's the only option you got. There ain't another option on the table. There's nothing they can do. They can't impeach him. They're not going to win the midterms. So all they can do is hope he dies. What you're seeing the last couple of days is just pure desperation. Just, God, please let him be dead. I can't take it no more. I can't take it no more. There are no talking points anymore. There's no arguments to be made. They have nothing. They have nothing. So, Trump's making an announcement in the Oval Office today, and I guess after that, maybe they'll stop pretending he's dead. And then what do they go to? I don't even know. I mean, they're gonna get dangerous because they don't have anything left but violence. That's all they got. Same with the transgenders too. The transgenders, that's a mess. What you saw the other day, you're gonna see a lot more of that because the transgenders are a mess. What the Democrats and the media have done to these people, you got a lot of ticking time bombs in this country now. And I'm telling you, Democrats, God. You ever vote for them again, you deserve what you get. The guy said it in his manifesto. He was like, I regret becoming trans. He admitted it. He's brainwashed. He said it in the manifesto. So, isn't that enough for you Democrats to go, yeah, let's let this one go. Let's let the trans stuff go. No, you still gonna fight for it. Even though you just had a fucking trans guy go shoot up a bunch of people and say that he was brainwashed and wishes he never transitioned. And his goofy mother is, she's ran for the hills. Because she's a fucking goof. What a mess. Expect more. You're going to see a lot more. The trans thing, it's over. Like, there's no, that shit's over. The whole country's turned against it. And so what do these people have left? What's left for them to do besides get violent? How many memes have you seen? Some transgender talking, over the years, transgenders talking about we need to get guns, we need to do this. Yeah. And you got the media telling them Trump's going to come kill them, Trump's coming for them, blah, blah, blah. What do you expect? When are the people going to be held accountable that brainwash all these people? When are we going to see some arrests? When are some of these doctors and psychiatrists and all these, when are they going to get cuffed and put behind bars where they belong? Because that'll be justice. And until that happens, there's no justice. It's not the trans people's fault that they're fucked up. It's the doctors. It's the media's fault. There's a lot of blame to go around, but it's not the brainwashed person's fault. It's not his fault that you mind fucked him into madness. It's your fault. You should be held accountable. That mother should be arrested because she clearly abused her child. She created a lunatic who was talking to the devil in the mirror. And he was. He was talking to the devil. Devil was talking to his ass. Crazy. You still think it's fake, though. No such thing as demons. No such thing as God. You still think that. Even though it explains everything going around the world. Nothing makes sense until you realize they're just demons. Then it makes sense. Then nothing surprises you. Of course they're acting like that. They're demons. That's what demons do. They're evil. I mean, listen to them talk. Go watch that Patrick Bet-David where there's 20 of them and fucking sitting in a room. Listen to how they talk. Some of them were polite, but there were so many of them that they just have such a shitty attitude. He told one girl, he was like, I will give you $20,000. I will pay for you to revoke your citizenship, and I will pay for your ticket to go to any communist country in the world you want to go to. And she was like, what country would that be? And he's like, anyone you want to pick. Pick one. North Korea, China. And she was like, those aren't communist countries. She's like, no, I'm staying in America. Of course she is. Of course she is. She ain't going nowhere. Some nitwit was like, you can't have a dictator in communism. That, you know, like, what? That's what communism always turns into. Well, see, it's not that wasn't real communism. Like, what? Real communism has never been tried. Really? Interesting. See, every time communism fails, they just pretend that it wasn't real communism. And how nice is that, right? Ain't that nice? Don't that make arguing with people so easy? Imagine when you argue with people, like, you're a decent person, you try to argue with good faith, right? But imagine if you didn't. Imagine if when you argued with a guy, you just, you could just say whatever you wanted to say. You could just move the goalposts whenever you wanted. You could just do whatever you wanted. That's how liberals argue. I know all their tricks. I know how they are. That's why they don't like arguing with me. Because I know all the liberal tricks. Parr said it the other day. He's not going to debate me one-on-one anymore. He doesn't want to anymore. He finally realizes he can't. Now, for some reason, in Parr's delusions, he thinks he can debate Raven. But I'm here to tell you, he can't. He loses those debates too. But I'm a little bit, I heard him debating the other day while I was at work, and I really couldn't chime in because I was working. I was in the aisles. I'm not having a full political debate in the middle of a fucking store aisle. But I was listening to them, and Parr was saying something. I can't remember what it was, but I was thinking of something to say back, but nobody was thinking it besides me. And that's when I realized, oh, yeah, this is why nobody wants to debate me. I listen to y'all debate each other, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, why don't he say this, but y'all don't ever say it? You don't think the things I'm thinking. I know the questions to ask. These people, they can't answer anything. Yeah, you just ask a few questions, and they just start, spazzing out. It's easy. But Parr can't debate Raven either. Raven makes him look dumb too. When's he gonna realize that? It's September, Ricky. Maybe it's time to quit smoking weed. Are we alone in the universe? Probably not. What's the latest on that fucking spaceship or whatever that's supposed to be coming to Earth? You know what I'm talking about? What's going on with that? I don't know what to believe about that. I've heard conflicting things. I don't know. I was watching some video the other day, and the guy was like, it has, I don't even know how they know this stuff. Maybe this is all bullshit. But, like, he was saying, like, the thing has, like, stuff coming off of it. And then he's like, but a comet, it wouldn't have this coming off of it. He's like, what's coming off of this thing is like some industrial shit. It's like this, they had to make this or something. I don't fucking know. He's trying to say it's a spaceship and there's like some special shit coming off of it that they only you know, this is something that has to be made by, you know, it doesn't occur naturally. Like it's some shit they have to do, like an industrial type of thing, like in a factory or something. It's like this. He's like the fucking the thing. I don't even know what it was. Some type of shit it's giving off. It's coming off of it. And he's like, it's coming off an engine. This stuff wouldn't come off a comment. This would only come off of some type of engine or something. I don't even know how you know that. I don't even know how you could tell what's coming off of this thing that's halfway across a fucking space or whatever. How do you see that? How do you know what's coming off the thing? You're looking through a telescope or whatever, and you're like, yep, I know that particle dust anywhere. I know what that is. I know exactly what that is. How the fuck do you know that? Fuck can you tell? So I don't know if that guy was just making shit up or what. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about, but I don't know what I'm talking about. So maybe he just full of shit, but I don't know. And he's using all these big words, and I'm like, well, he sounds like you know what he's talking about. But if I actually knew about this stuff, I might go, this guy's fucking retarded. I seen a guy on Joe Rogan said that wasn't a spaceship. That's all bullshit. So I don't know. I hear conflicting things. Oh, quantum computer? How does a fucking quantum computer... I just don't know how you can tell what's coming off something that's flying through space that's like way the fuck out there in space. It's way the fuck out there. And you know all these things about it. We need the science guy. I'm going to have to get in touch with the science guy. Yeah, they said it was admitting something, like there was stuff coming off of it. And he was like, but what's coming off of this doesn't occur naturally. So this is something that occurs in like in an industrial process, like, you know, like he was saying there's an engine, you know, the power in this thing, and what's coming off of it is coming off of this engine. Because it doesn't occur naturally. That's what he was saying. And I don't know how they know that. How the fuck could you know that? What's coming off of it? But what do I know? What do I know about space? Do I have COVID? No. I haven't been sick in a while, knock on wood. Supposed to come in October. I guess we'll know soon, won't we? If they have aliens invade to stop Trump, I mean, my God. You told me to play Resident Evil 4 in October. You said that the other night. So I don't know why you keep asking. You said save it for October. What you said? I don't have any overdraft fees. I don't have a bank account. So I encourage all of you to get rid of your bank accounts because of things like overdraft fees. These bank accounts are a ripoff. The last bank account I had no money in it, and they charged me for not having money in it, and so I shut it the fuck down. I went in there and said, nah, I'm shutting this down. I'm not playing this game with y'all. Because I'm broke a lot, so there's going to be a lot of times I have no money in my account. So you're not going to charge me money for being broke. That's fucking ridiculous. So I got rid of that. And I use Cash App. My checks get direct deposited to my Cash App. Everything. I've been using Cash App for years. Had no problem. Fuck all that overdraft. No, I got rid of that laptop. I'm not renting anything no more. Took all that back. Took the bike back. Guy from the stream paid for the PS5, so I'm not renting that. That's paid for. And took the laptop back. I'm not behind on my taxes. Did my taxes this year. Looking forward to next year. Income tax. I am renting, yep. Michael Myers. I'm ready for that new Dexter Friday, my God. Season's been perfect season. What a comeback. I'm going to say it's the greatest show comeback I've ever seen. Usually they bring a show back and it sucks. Like that Happy Gilmore. I still haven't watched that second one, but it's not good as the first. It can't be. How can it be? I've seen people saying that after it came out. They were like, it was all right, but it's not as good as the first. And I'm thinking, who the fuck said it was going to be? I bet even Adam Sandler wouldn't say that. He wouldn't be like, yeah, it's better than the first. Who the fuck would say that? How can you make it better than the first one? It's just, it's stupid. Like that movie was coming out and you were like, I'm going to watch it. And you were thinking it was going to be better. This is why people can't enjoy things. They can't watch things for what they are. If you watch something for what it is, you'll enjoy it. But if you go into it expecting all this shit. If you go into Happy Gilmore 2 and you're like, this is going to be better than the Happy Gilmore 1, you already setting yourself up for failure. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That'd be like electing Donald Trump Jr. and thinking he going to be as good as Trump Sr. Come on now. You know that ain't going to be the case. Just the way it is. I wish I had a quarter pound of weed, but I don't got no weed. I don't even have no edible. I could have went and bought some after work, but I said I didn't feel like walking over there. I said, fuck it. Went home. I heard there's a lot of cameos in Happy Gilmore 2. I'm going to watch it eventually. Eventually I'll get bored one night and sit and watch it. What was that thing Hazard told me he was going to have me watch? God, what was he? He had a movie, but then he said he wanted to change it. And he changed it to something else. Can't remember what it was. Something gay. It was something real gay because I went, I did see that. I thought you were holding money in that picture. I didn't enlarge it. I thought you were posting that because Par said you were broke. I thought that was like a big wad of cash or something next to your head or something. That was weed? A ceiling, James. Now 29 viewers for a ceiling. Brokeback. Never seen Brokeback Mountain. Never seen that one. I heard they were fighting on the Avengers set. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. If that Avengers movie sucks, then that Marvel shit's over, bro. They gotta hit. They've gotta nail it. They can't afford that to flop and be a train wreck. They can't. I don't even know what's so hard about it. This is crazy. They can't even make a Blade movie. They're fucking struggling to make a Blade movie. I don't understand. I just want to work there for one day just so I could understand what's going on. Just let me sit in on the meeting just one time. I honestly feel I could solve it all. I could solve it. Make me let me run Marvel. I'll solve it. I don't know anything about any of it. I don't know anything about making a movie or anything. Running a company, but I have sense. I have that. You need a motherfucker like me everywhere. You need me. You need me in that room when these meetings are taking place. I'll solve this shit. Some dumb bitch will stand up and say, we're going to make another Brie Larson movie. I'd say, people don't really like the Brie Larson movie. I'd skip that one. Y'all want to make some money, I'd skip that one. Well, the Captain Marvel made $1 billion. Yeah, I get it, but that was because of Infinity War. It has nothing to do with. What moaning noise? Oh. Why is it turning you on, freak? AI probably will fix a lot of that shit for real. AI will get in there and be like, what the fuck is going on? That's what AI will do. They'll run some of these scripts by the AI and they'll be like, what the fuck is this? It says here Spider-Man is gay? Are you insane? AI will fix it. Because AI is intelligent. It'll be like, what is this? Nobody's going to watch this shit. Are you retarded? AI might save us after all. I'll take my chances with AI over letting a liberal run anything. That's for damn sure. I'll be back. I'll be back. cold. The Rock lost all his didn't lose all his muscle. He lost a little bit for a movie role. Y'all love making stories out of nothing. I haven't seen Superman, so I don't know if it's good or not. Do an oil burner reveal. What does that mean? I don't know what that is. What's an oil burner? And why is it in quotes? What is it supposed to mean? What are you saying? Fuck you talking about? I don't smoke meth. Why do they call it an oil burner? I didn't know meth was an oil. I thought it was like a meth rock. In Breaking Bad, it's like little rocks. I've never seen meth in real life, so I don't know. Maybe it is oil, I don't know. Don't know about that one. You guys are really bad at, I know you think you're really good at it, but you're really bad at detecting drug users. I don't know if y'all knew that about yourselves. You're really bad at it. That's why when I see some guy on Twitter talking about, this guy's on drugs, look at this picture, I'm like, yeah, I bet he is. You probably don't know what you're talking about. Getting your own following will teach you how much people just make shit up. You'll start to realize, yep, they make shit up about me, though. They'll make shit up about anybody. I thought they made spicy legal. I don't ever see that shit anymore. I haven't seen that shit in a long time. I think they banned it around here. That shit terrible. Some guy cooked and ate his dog on that shit. Imagine that. Cooking and eating your fucking dog. Jesus. That's some serious shit. You get so high, you eating the dog. I don't know what a G-pen is. I'm about to get off here and go to bed, though. I wish you well. I'll probably pop in later today. Never heard of that. Nah, I didn't see none of that pay-per-view stuff. I'll be on here later. Goodbye.